Good afternoon. Hmm. I've been thinking a lot about what we can do. The list of what we should not do is long. We shouldn't long for, we shouldn't desire, we shouldn't strive, we shouldn't aspire in terms of our spiritual journey, our spiritual search for awakening. We shouldn't have an end game, is most importantly. We shouldn't desire to get somewhere because there's nowhere to go. We're here already. We're here. We're perfect. We're part of the infinite. We breathe in and we breathe out all that is real. All that is real is the enveloping, all containing light of being, light of life, life itself. So I've gone over and over the things we shouldn't seek to awakening. We shouldn't anyway, you can fill in the blanks. Lots of shouldn'ts. But how about a should? How about what we could do while we're busy being? What could we do? And I look back on my own life, my own path, my own journey to nowhere, now, here, nowhere, and look for a common denominator. Well, one, I had a mantra that I lived with every day that I would use, consciously use every day until it became part and parcel of my daily living. That was simple. I am a better man today than I was yesterday. And I'll be a better man tomorrow than I am today. Now this is what we can do. Relentlessly pursue betterment. It can become all-consuming. But this is, simply put, this is what we can do. Notice I didn't say strive. I didn't say work. I didn't say effort. I didn't say desire. Pursuit. A pursuit in and of itself that is perfection. A pursuit that's not an achievement. A pursuit that's not restrictive. That's not aimed at a goal. The pursuit that in and of itself is perfect. So here you go. This is something that we can do. I'm still living with this same mantra. I'm still relentlessly pursuing betterment. In the firm understanding that there's always room for improvement. We could always be better. And the reward, the unanticipated, the unpursued reward is the process of gradually awakening, or instant awakening, whichever. An instant that takes forever, or forever that takes an instant. It's all in the semantics, it's all in your viewpoint. So whether you want the pursuit that took forever, or the pursuit that immediately rewarded, this is the blessing, this is the gift of your dedication. This is the fruit of your pursuit. And if you look at it, if you really truly examine this pursuit, this relentless effort, this relentless pursuit, not effort, sorry, this relentless pursuit for betterment, it is itself its own reward, isn't it? Surely you can recognize how much we would benefit, how much those around us would benefit from our personal pursuit. If we became better human beings, better in every sense, in every measurement, in every category, in every criteria, if we would but become better, this is truly a win-win. We benefit personally, we feel better, we give more, we are more. So this is a beautiful pursuit. This is a pursuit well worth dedicating your lifetime to. And the beauty of it is it's measurable. The events around you, the way that events unfold, will be all the proof that you need that this all-consuming, be-all and end-all will quickly reflect your image back, and you will be the sole judge of the effectiveness of your efforts, this relentless pursuit of betterment. You'll see in the mirror, they reflect from the eyes of those that you come in contact with. You'll see it. It's tangible. If you're looking for something real in a world that's so unreal, here you go. Are you kinder? Are you more gentle? Are you more understanding? Are you less judgmental? Are you less desirous? Are you less focused on material goods, possessions? This will show in your eyes, just as you can see it in the eyes, your reflection coming back. Your effect will be transmitted by those that you come in contact. Your effect on them will be reflected back to you. And this is all on a level that we can practice. Individually, we can practice to be receptive, to be able to see this. Whether or not the other can really understand that they're reflecting back to you what they're receiving from you is inconsequential at this point. It's just a benchmark for your own comfort and assurance that improvement indeed is taking place. As a teacher, as a university teacher for many years, I understood the importance of helping my students to see any benefit they're accruing, any advancement, anything that would reflect their improving abilities. They needed this reassurance. You need to show them. Say, hey, even it's to the point. Say, hey, look. Listen to what you just said. Listen to what you just did. You see the reflection. You see the growth in that. You remember what you were, and now look. So I reassure the other, but I never neglected reassuring myself. It's worth the effort. Relentlessly pursuing anything consumes energy, doesn't it? Effort consumes energy. And this is one example where an effort will be a useful tool, but more importantly, your effort will be reflected as you review yourself at the end of each and every day. I begin my day with my affirmation. I'll repeat it because I love to say it. I am a better man today than I was yesterday. And I will be a better man tomorrow than I am today. This is how I begin my day. This is my I am, my affirmation, my mantra. And through the course of the day, I'm always monitoring, watching, listening, being aware of not only what's internal, but which is external, my encounters with people. I used to, I've been a single man most of my life who loves solitude, who spent a lot of time alone. And this aloneness is still important. This quality alone time is still important. But the last 7 years, I've been blessed to have a partner. And the double blessing is that she understands what my work is. Because a lot of times, if you're watching me from the outside, it's not apparent that I'm doing a lot of work. But she knows. Internal work, which becomes eternal work. Internal to get to the eternal. So constantly evaluating the day. How did I do? When I get to the end of the day, this is my reflection time. I look back at the day and I actually give myself a grade. As a teacher's habit is, long-term habits are hard to break, so I give myself a grade. I take a look at what I could improve, what I could have done better, and that becomes part of my pursuit for tomorrow. Now, the most important part of this self-evaluation is forgiveness. To truly be non-judgmental, which is the attitude that you bring to any evaluation. Evaluation without judgment. It goes outside of within. And just to be clear about this process, forgive yourself. Forgive any shortcomings. Forgive any performance that was less than the standards that you hold for yourself. Less than acceptable behavior. And as you, this process of examination, witnessing, of listening, and then the forgiveness, and then you surrender it to the violet consuming flame. This is just before I go to sleep, any accumulated karma, which, by the way, karma just means action. If we take any action, karma is not a judgment. There's no such thing as good karma or bad karma. There's bad actions perceived as bad actions and perceived as good actions. But when it comes down to it, an action is an action is an action. Karma is karma. And this daily surrender, this daily of gifting, of giving the violet consuming flame, let it do its job that it does so well. Let it consume. Let it destroy. Let it burn. That's such an incredible heat that no remnants are left behind. At the moment of abiding awakening, one of the most notable things that separate abiding awakening from non-abiding, the process of many experiences, non-abiding awakenings, which have different levels. which can be experienced in different intensities. Abiding awakening includes the dissolution, the resolution, the letting go of all karma accumulated in this life and the many myriad of lives that come before. You're karma free for just that instant. And the instant that comes next, cease karma accumulation. So it takes a daily conscious effort on my part to at least go to sleep karma free, to enter the realms of the dreams where most of my work is honestly done. Most of our work is honestly done. It's in the what we call dreaming state. And those of us in the know quite the opposite to be true. It's in the so-called awakened state when we're going about our daily chart in the real world as we see it. This is the dream, as it turns out. So you want to enter the real world, the dream world, the world that you experience when you're sleeping, physical sleep, not spiritual sleep, not your soul's not asleep. Your soul doesn't rest. It has no need for rest. It has infinite energy, infinite light, infinite life. So you want to enter this state as the purest being that you can be. And you'll soar, you'll spiral to alternative realities, alternative dream states, alternative experiences. And in the scope of things, what we experience on this earth as human beings is really a narrow construct, a narrow experience of what is, of all that there is. Really, I can't even make my fingers close enough to really demonstrate the smallness of our existence as we know it, as we see it. Of course, as you refute the unreal, as you release the burden of karma, of thinking, of experiencing, of pain, of emotion, of loss, of separation, as you release these for the totally false constructs that they truly are, the Maya, as you release the Maya, your experiences previously was so narrow will now reach out and fill this screen as I'm looking at you. But it means that everything around me, everything behind me, everything below me in this sphere of fearlessness, this sphere that we dwell in all the time, which we choose not to see, which we have forgotten to remember. So you see, it's all part of that forgetting. It's all part of that remembering. Remember, remember, in the non-dualistic world, what truly is the world that we are blessed with, remembering and forgetting are part of the same continuum. And it gets to the point where you understand that there's no difference between forgetting and remembering. But just as my suggestion, this pursuit of betterment is useful, so too is the metaphor of remembering the forgotten. It's not attained through any effort. It becomes intensified as you're waking up. And then the whole concept of forgetting or remembering becomes mute, no longer a useful measurement, because when you fully remember everything, you're blessed with the understanding of everything, absolutely everything. And some of the ways that we measure this is perhaps that's a blissful state that some people go into when they awaken. The fact that the reality, the realness of knowing everything that has been, will be, and can be, simultaneously. This is experienced by bliss by some people. I experience it as an overwhelming responsibility because I'm more the serious type, for better or worse. But I experience it as a burden. The weight of the world was truly on my shoulders. I suspected as much my whole life, but I experienced that, yes, that weight is there. Now, one man's bliss is another man's overwhelming sense of responsibility. Anyway, I went that way. I can only hope that you go the way of bliss. But perhaps I always knew that bliss is a temporary, unsought after, unsolicited experience. We came into this world, we came into our human form in a state of bliss, and we will leave our human form in that same state of bliss. It's a constant. Bliss is always there. It's available. Some people choose it. I mentioned before, 90% of the people that awake, from what I'm told and what I have come to understand, leave the body at the time of awakening, of abiding awakening. Leave the body in this expression of bliss, because, at least for me, I know that I couldn't remain in my body and be in a constant state of bliss. It just disintegrates. The body can't contain what's released by this bliss, the power of bliss, the light, the brightness. The body just not designed, never intended to encompass bliss. If the time is right for you and you enter this state of bliss, the fear has been banished. Remember, you'll never get to this point being fearful. You open your arms, you accept, you surrender to what will come. What will be, will be. But with luck or effort or a clear insight that work remains to be done, that you can be helpful to all sentient beings, that in some way, as an example, as a reference, as an expectation, as a prediction of what the state that is available to all of us. So there you have it. What we can do. We can work. We can pursue betterment. We can become better than we are now. And better is a continuous, ongoing action. You don't get to a state and say, I'm better now. This is the ego, the spiritual ego, the greatest trap. The greatest trap in the course, in the way, in the process of becoming awake. And you need to temper this with the understanding of what ordinariness truly means. If everything and everyone is the same, well, the being better just doesn't measure, just doesn't resonate, just doesn't exist any longer. So acceptance of your experience as totally ordinary, totally within the realm and trajectory of each and every one of us. Smile all day.